Hey everybody, Dirili here. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Hakuouki Zuisoroku, or the fan disc material from the PS3 version of the game. And today we are going to be reading Hijikata Memories of Love Part 4. Let's see what that story is going to be about. Memories of Love Hijikata 4, April 1868. Hijikata and the protagonist visit Okita in Edo while petitioning the government to pardon Kondo. Hijikata chooses not to tell Okita about Kondo and tells the protagonist he intends to take his petition directly to the highest levels of government, even though she warns him that doing so could be dangerous. Sounds like it's going to be a sad chapter.
After all that self-righteous preaching, what did I do? I turned around and left into the wolves.
This is not going to be a cuddly story. Hijikata's hoarse cries and anguish echoed across the painfully beautiful sunset, the sky's own tribute to a lost comrade. All I could do was cling to his back and cry. My own heart had broken when he said goodbye. But how could I even imagine what those last few desperate words had done to Hijikata? I couldn't have stopped my tears, but I didn't even try. The Shinsengumi had lost many good men at the Battle of Topofushimi. Inoue and Yamazaki had given their lives. Hijikata had drunk the water of life and became a fury. Upon their return to Edo, the Shinsengumi was renamed the Koyo Regulatory Company and dispatched to Kofu Castle. Unfortunately, they encountered the Imperial Army and were forced to retreat. And last but not least, the differences in their visions for the Shinsengumi had led to Harada and Nagakura leaving to strike out on their own. In only a few months, the Shinsengumi had become a radically different organization. April 1868. The Shinsengumi had been shaken, but in April it threatened to collapse entirely. Chief Kondo, the pillar of strength and inspiration behind the entire organization, surrendered to the Imperial Army in Nagarayama so that his companions could escape. Many months before that fateful day, Hijikata had once said to me that his life seemed like a dream. As we prepared to leave, Kondo and I were alone with one another. He told me that as he looked back, it all felt like a dream. The two dreams they'd spoken of could not have felt more different. Hijikata insisted he'd haul off the men coming for us so that Kondo might escape. But, kind to the last, the chief refused. That sort of last stand would almost certainly mean Hijikata's life, and even if it didn't, the toll his fairy powers would take on his body was too much for Kondo to bear. As we left, Kondo handed me a pouch filled with money to help me escape, he said, but I knew I couldn't do that. It was the last thing he'd given me. The only thing I could do with the money was use it for Hijikata. After we escaped, we remained in Edo, endlessly petitioning the government to pardon Kondo, even though we knew it was a hopeless task. The Imperial Army had grown more active, and danger was closing in. That night, the atmosphere was tense, even though we were safely hidden from prying eyes. Memories of Love, Part 4, April 1868.
Good evening, Hijikata. Surprised to see you coming to visit me.
We'd come to see Okita as he recuperated, and he greeted us with a wide smile. Hijikata, however, pursed his lips and got down to business. No time to waste.
Looks like you're doing fine. Good enough to laugh at me for coming to visit you at least. Sure you should be up? And what's going on with all this? You're up in the middle of the night, dressed, carrying your swords. Either you finally checked out, or you're planning to run off, you little...
Come on, Hijikata, calm down. He shut his mouth with a snap and looked away from Okita.
I'm fine. You still need to explain yourself, Soji. It's getting boring here. There's nobody to talk to. So I thought I'd go find some other guys and catch up. Absolutely not. You're not in any condition to be running around. Not with your condition.
He looked disappointed, but didn't speak up.
Look, we came to visit you, all right? You can talk to us. I'd be the last person to say you're not a barrel of laughs, but you're not staying very long, are you? No, I'm leaving Edo tonight. Busy, busy, busy. That's our commander. You're a lucky guy, Hijikata. I'm stuck here while you get to go off and hang out with the guys.
He sighed.
How's Kondo doing? You two still getting along? I guess word really didn't get very far.
I felt every muscle in my body pull taut and glanced quickly at Hijikata's face. All he did, though, was give Okita a tight wry smile.
Rude to ask someone that. Kondo's still Kondo, cheerful and optimistic, whatever the situation.
I guess we don't quite feel right about lying to him.
Yeah, I figured. I mean, not like I care. You two could be at each other's throats for all I care. Huh. Well, clearly you're well enough to be a smartass. We'll be back soon. Don't push yourself too hard. Sure. Say hi to Kondo for me, okay?
They both nodded goodbye to one another, with expressions I couldn't read. Still, I got the sense both men felt this might be their final farewell.
Later, Soji.
Goodbye. Please take care of yourself. Hijikata turned and left the room, and I made to follow.
Hold on.
I turned around. Yes?
Hey, he's kind of a jerk, I know, and he's never been good at, talking to other people. I'd die before I spend a day being Hijikata, but...
He shrugged and gave me a crooked smile.
Never gotta be around. Let him talk to you, okay?
I try to. He's a man of few words, though. Of course. I bowed to him and left the room. Of course I let him talk to me. It's getting him to talk to me that's the problem. Hijikata was standing in the hall outside, a stern expression on his face. Perhaps he had also sensed that he might never see Okita again. I didn't know what to say, so I just fell into step behind him. We were on our way into Edo when Hijikata suddenly stopped.
Look, I want you to go on ahead.
Where are you going? What am I going to do without my bodyguard?
I'm going to see if I can get Kondo's pardon, personally.
Right now? You've already done everything you can.
And how the hell do you know that? We haven't won yet, so there's something we haven't tried.
Edo's getting dangerous for us, though. The Imperial Army is almost here. On our way to visit Okita, Hijikata had said we'd leave Edo as soon as we'd finished. His sudden change of heart seemed strange, and I wasn't sure it was the best idea. Besides, they're waiting for you to come back. He turned to look at me, and his eyes were cold and sharp.
Are you criticizing my decision?
No.
Enlighten me. What are you saying?
He didn't sound happy. Let's see, what must I say? Get a hold of yourself. Get hold of yourself. Don't you see how reckless this is? I could hear my voice rising, but I didn't care. You're making a scene.
I make the decisions, not you.
I know that, but if you get spotted...
So what if I do? We could spend all night talking what-ifs.
Then what about Inoue and Yamazaki? What about their sacrifice?
What do you know about sacrifice?
I know enough. His anger was terrifying, but I pushed ahead. I could feel the beginnings of tears burning at the corners of my eyes, but I blinked them away and drew myself up. I saw them give their lives for their friends. They loved the Shinsengumi. They loved you. And if they could see what you're about to do right now, they'd be sad.
They...
His body slumped, and for a moment his gaze shifted off into the far distance.
So, the people who get left behind still have to answer to everybody who's died.
Yes, at least I think so. That was what I was doing. As much as I desperately wanted to, I couldn't let myself back down. After all, Inoue and Yamazaki would have done the same.
Damn, if you're right, I sure got a lot of people to answer to.
Unfortunately, why does history have to be so tragic? Hijikata.
Sorry for all that. You understand better than I thought.
His smile was sad, and I felt my heart tighten when he looked at me.
The worse things get for the Shinsengumi, the more I've got to keep myself on an even keel. It'd be pretty embarrassing if the chief got out and didn't have anywhere to come home to.
Yeah. My earlier fire was burning down quickly, but before it did, there was one more thing I had to say. Please, don't push yourself too hard. You already do too much. It seems like you're working all day and all night.
Do you really have time to be worrying about other people? Once we leave Edo, We're going to be on the march until we meet up with the main army. If you fall behind, you'll get left behind.
Okay. Despite his stubbornness, I seem to have gotten through. As he moved off, I did my best to keep up.
Hey, there you are. Glad to see you're safe.
After leaving Edo, we met up with Shimada. Just as we were about to leave, though, Hijikata stopped.
Shimada, I want you to take her up north with you.
Stop trying to get rid of me! I swear. What?
I'm staying behind to keep working on that pardon. If you're here, you'll just get in the way. Sorry.
I could hear in his voice that it wasn't simply an emotional decision. He had determined that this was the wisest course of action. Even though I was afraid for him, I knew protesting would do nothing.
This is an order coming from your commander. She'll catch up with you soon.
He didn't seem pleased with Hijikata's sudden decision. Neither am I.
Understood, sir.
He nodded to Hijikata, then turned to me. There was nothing for me to do but nod as well. All right. Fine, I'll be a good girl. Hijikata executed a smart turn and strode back off into the night. I should have always known he would refuse to share his burden, no matter what I said. As I watched his receding back, I couldn't shake the feeling that it would be the last time I saw him, that he would die in Edo. Fortunately, that's not true. As Shimada and I headed north, I said a silent prayer in hopes that I would see Hijikata again, alive. And you will! Because that was only part 4, and we still have 4 more parts to go. So please come back for Hijikata Memories of Love Part 5. Hope to see you there or in some of my other videos. Hopefully that one will be a happier one. Although, I don't know, things kept getting worse, so they may actually get more tragic and sad instead. Until closer to the end, then maybe we'll have some snuggly moments. Keeping my fingers crossed. Well, anyway, hope to see you there in some of my other videos. And I'd be so grateful for any likes, comments, subscriptions, or shares with your friends to show some support. Thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you all health, happiness, and safety. Dirili signing out. Bye-bye, everybody.